Namaste everyone, I'm your co-host Shawnee ma'am. Welcome to your favorite learning channel. The topic for today's video is structure of a flower. So in our previous videos we had learned that flower is the reproductive organ of a plant. So flower helps in sexual reproduction in a plant or in a flowering plant. So let's see how is the structure of a flower. So a typical flower actually consists of four main parts, and these four main parts can also be called as holes. So we can say that a flower, a typical flower has how many parts? Has four main parts, or these main parts can also be called as holes of a flower. So what are these four main parts of a flower? One is the calyx, okay. Other is the corolla. The next one is stamen, and the fourth part is pistil, okay. So these are the four main parts of a flower, okay. So what is actually the function, the primary function of a flower? So as I said earlier, the function of a flower is a flower mainly helps in reproduction, okay. So a flower mainly helps in reproduction in plant. So they usually, how do they help in reproduction? Usually by providing a mechanism for the union of male and female gametes. We know that gametes are the reproductive cells, so these flowers usually provide a mechanism where male and female gametes can unite. So these flowers mainly help in reproduction or in sexual reproduction. So let's now understand each of the parts one by one. Let's start with calyx, okay. So it is a basal leaf like structure, okay. It is a basal leaf like structure of a flower. So this calyx, they are generally green colored part. They are the green colored part of the flower, and sepals. So the sepals actually constitute the calyx. So calyx is constituted by sepals, okay. So these sepals are actually green colored part, okay. They appear like basal leaf like structures, okay. So its main function, what is the main function of calyx? It mainly helps in, we can say it is the function of calyx. What is the function of calyx? It is to protect, it helps or it protects the bud, okay. This is the main function of calyx. So next let's study about the corolla. So corolla are brightly colored. They are brightly colored, whereas calyx was green colored part. Mainly it was green in color. So corolla is brightly colored and they are modified form of leaves. They are modified leaves, we can call them, okay. So the petals actually constitute, okay, the petals constitute the corolla. Corolla. Okay, so corolla is constituted by petals, whereas calyx is constituted by sepals. Next, let's see what is stamen. Okay, so stamen is the male reproductive part. It is the male reproductive part of a flower, male reproductive part or male reproductive organ of a flower. So it typically consists of what? It consists of anther. Okay, anther that contains pollen grains. Okay, so it consists of an anther and a filament. Okay, so this filament actually connects the anther to flower. What does it do? It connects anther to the flower. So this is the function of the filament. Okay, so stamen is also called, what can it be called? It is also called that a stamen is also known as androecium. Okay, so androecium is another name for stamen. Okay, then let's study about the fourth main part of the flower, that is pistil. So pistil is the female reproductive part. Pistil is the female reproductive part or female reproductive organ of a flower, and it consists of what? It consists of, or it comprises of, stigma, style and ovary. Okay, so stigma, style and ovary are the parts of pistil. So inside the ovary, what happens is, inside the ovary, ovules are present. Okay, so ovary consists of ovules, and here, that is, this is where, what happens here? This is where the egg develops. Okay, so inside the ovary, ovules are present where the egg develops. Okay, so what is the other name of pistil? Pistil is also known as, gynoecium. Okay, so gynoecium is another name for pistil. Okay, so let's now quickly revise the things that we have covered today. So we already knew that flowers usually help in reproduction, they help in sexual reproduction in plants. So we learned that a typical flower has four main parts or four holes, and these are calyx, corolla, stamen and pistil. Okay, so the main function of flower is to help in reproduction, and it does so how? It does so by providing a mechanism for the union of male and female gametes. Then we studied each of the holes separately. First we studied about calyx. So calyx is actually the basal leaf-like structure. So it is actually green in color, and calyx is constituted by sepals. Okay, so this is the calyx. Here we can see it is green in color. Sepals are constituting calyx. Then the main function of calyx is that they protect the bud. Then we studied about corolla. Here we can see corolla. So corolla is actually brightly colored modified leaves. This is corolla. Okay, so these are brightly colored because petals constitute the corolla. So petals are usually brightly colored, and as they constitute corolla, they have bright color. Okay, here we can see this is the corolla. Then we studied about stamen. So this is the stamen. Here we can see the stamen is actually the male reproductive organ or the male reproductive part of a flower, and it consists of an anther, okay, and a filament. Okay, so anther contains pollen grains. Within the anther, there are pollen sacs present or microsporangium present. Here we can see that contains pollen grains. Okay. Then there is a filament here we can see. So filament connects the anther to the flower. Okay. So stamen is also known as androecium. So androecium is another name for stamen. Then we studied about pistil. Okay, so this is the pistil. Here we studied about stamen. We saw that anther and filament are two parts of stamen or androecium. Then here we can see it's pistil. So pistil is actually the female reproductive part or the female reproductive organ of a flower. It consists of or it comprises of stigma, style and ovary. Okay. So inside the ovary, here we can see this is inside the ovary. Inside the ovary there are ovules. Okay. Ovules are present inside the ovary, and this is where the eggs develop. And pistil, that is the female reproductive part, is also known as gynoecium. So gynoecium is another name for pistil. Okay. So I hope you all would have got some great insights by watching today's video. Please do not forget to like and share the video. Till then, thank you for watching.